Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, the strong push for a political finance bill that will put a stop to dubious funding of political activities, with an urgent call for probe into branded vehicles bearing the image of Dr. Bawumia even before the presidential contest of the NPP begins. Meanwhile, there's heightened tensions between the NPP and an independent candidate in the Kumeu constituency as a by-election in the area draws closer. We have details for you shortly. Plus, fortification work begins at Zeno cluster of schools in the Kpong Katamanso municipality to improve structural integrity of the dilapidated school building. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please stay for details. Tension has heightened between the New Patriotic Party candidate and an independent candidate in the Kumeu constituency as the by-election in the area draws closer. The NPP has over the years beaten all candidates to win the seat, but the independent candidate Kwekudria came close to snatching it in the 2020 parliamentary election. With the emergence of another Kwekudria as an independent candidate, the former is optimistic of beating all odds to win the seat this time. Nanaya Ojima has been looking at the heated exchanges between the two leading candidates as they enter the final lap of their campaigns.
The demise of Kumeu MP Philip Baswa necessitated a by-election to fill the vacant seats. In the 2020 parliamentary election, the deceased MP garnered over 14,000 votes, with the independent candidate Kwekudria making 11,698. The NDC candidate who came third, Bernard Opokumafo, could make 2,439 votes. These results are, however, being contested by the independent candidate.
But to us who voted and who are from this constituency, everybody knew that I won that election. And for that reason, I was bent on going to court to seek redress. Well, some movements went on and they came and apologized through the Omanyene. He's my grandfather. So when he called me, I obliged.
The independent candidate was once a member of the New Patriotic Party. He refused a call to reunite with the party after the 2020 general election. Mr. Dua explains.
So when they approached me that, hey, we want to know what you're going to do, they knew I was the right person to go. That's why they approached me in the first place. They should have asked me to go uncontested. And I told them that. I said, listen, if I contest with anybody, I will lose. Why? Because I don't have anybody to vote for me.
You don't have people in the polling stations to vote for you?
Exactly. Because they disqualified all my guys.
The NPP have since attacked his campaign, claiming the candidate is in bed with the opposition National Democratic Congress. Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Entribu-Siakon, explains.
I have said no MPP, but why to say Judas is carrot? Say Kwekudria and indeed the Judas is carrot. What are why you come a woman? What you say?
He used to be a member of the NPP, but not anymore. He is a traitor. He can now be linked to the biblical Judas Iscariot. He is now in bed with the NDC. That is why his posters are green in color. The NDC knows they have no chance of winning the seat, so they are now relying on him.
abra odi no ho akoba NDC no yabema obi ehu NDC for no rely on it NDC for nim say omunya 2800 and something it is this election no anya de asa ga NDC for no person oba na mom kwatua kwakohunu wo ana omo amani ska so omra be yikumawuma na enko no ho because say MPP ni NDC parliament ne yaben.
The NPP has put up Ernest Yao Enim as candidate for the by-election. The candidates who are favourite to win the seat have stepped up their campaign. The regional and national leadership of the New Patriotic Party are busy in the constituency, visiting almost all towns and villages in the enclave with their message. The independent candidate is, however, unfazed.
So we leave it to the people to decide whom they trust, whom they can trust, whom they think can deliver for them. And I'm doing it with my own money, with my own resources. So do you think if the government gives me something for developmental project within the constituency or the community, I'm going to blow it? No, I'll use it for that purpose. And let me tell you, I'm ready and willing to work with all the stakeholders.
The NPP is expected to climax its campaign with a rally on Sunday where the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, is expected to be present. For Joy News, Nana Aljima, Kumau.
We'll do more on elections because there's a call for an election funding bill to be passed to ensure there's transparency in the spending of politicians. We'll bring you that story in a bit. But engineers are currently on site working on the 12-unit classroom block at the Zeno cluster of schools in the Katamanso municipality of the Greater Accra region in a bid to fortify the structure for effective academic work. This follows Joy News' earlier report on the state of the structure that forced hundreds of school pupils to study under trees. My colleague Carlos Coloni visited the site earlier today and now reports.
When we visited the Zeno cluster of schools last week, 8th of May 2023, we saw school children studying under trees. According to pupils and teachers of the school, some strong movement were intermittently felt in the building during lessons. Following a Joy News report, the Municipal Director of Education, Harry Evans Arthur, assured his office will move swiftly to fortify the building within a month. A follow-up to the school Thursday, May 18, 2023 revealed that work had started in earnest, with contractor excavating the ground floor of all the classrooms. It is the hope of the Education Directorate that works will be completed as scheduled in order to uphold the right of both pupils and teachers to study in a decent and conducive atmosphere.
What is happening at the moment is that the Assembly has been able to send engineers to the ground. As I speak to you now, work is in progress. They are working so hard to make sure that work is done in less than a month, so that students can go back and use the classroom.
The Katamanso Municipal Education Directorate has meanwhile launched the Teacher Prize on its 10th anniversary to celebrate the work of teachers and the achievements of the last decade. Commending the municipality for this initiative, Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service in charge of quality and access, Dr. Kobina Bempa Tando, noted that as part of government overall education reform in the country, the GES is introducing reforms for teachers' professional development.
It is important to know that quality education, as we are implementing it now, is drawn from the Education Strategic Plan of 2018 to 2030. There are a number of things, including reform of teachers or teacher reforms, as we talk about it, which looks at how we can ensure that our teachers, as well as non-teaching staff, continue to have high level of professionalism in the work that we do. We have worked with the Ministry of Education to implement a number of things. Number one being the 2019 implementation of the Continuous Professional Development Allowance for Teachers to support teachers in their own professional development as they deem necessary and see fit.
The launch also witnessed the unveiling of anniversary cloth. Speaking to Joy News, some teachers believe the move would go a long way to enhance academic performance in the municipality.
The overall academic performance, you see, when teachers are appreciated, they give off their best. And if when teachers are giving off their best, then definitely the academic performance is also going to be improved.
With this, I tell you, our next result is going to be different.
From Katamanso Municipality, my name is Carlos Caloni for Joy News.
Well, Director of Education at Katamanso Municipal Assembly, Harry Evans Arthur, says this comes as a relief to the Assembly.
Katamanso Municipal Education Directorate, we are moving on in spite of our challenges. What happened about a week or two ago, we are grateful to the Municipal Assembly. They sent engineers to the school, and the last time I visited the place, I realized that work was going on steadily. Engineers are on the ground. It seems they are trying to excavate the floor and then recut the whole place to give it a new shape, a new look, so that students will feel at ease using the facility. So work is actually going on, and as a temporary measure, we have also rented some canopies that the students are using comfortably. So as I speak to you now, there isn't much to worry about as far as the new issue is concerned.
How long is the project going to last, and when are we expecting the students back in school?
The news the engineers have given to me through the MP, I'm not sure to go beyond a month. So we're looking up to a space of 1 month.
The Bono East Regional Peace Council has been urged to step up efforts in devising realistic strategies to address protracted chieftaincy disputes in the region. This according to a member of the governing board of the National Peace Council, Numo Blafo Akotia III, would help in the attainment of sustainable peace and also attract the needed development to the region. He made the comments during a brief ceremony to inaugurate the Bono East Regional House of Chiefs. Anna Sabit has more.
A member of the governing board of the National Peace Council, Numo Blafo Akotia III, has inaugurated the newly constituted Bono East Regional Peace Council with a call on members to be steadfast in the discharge of their duties. The 13-member council is expected to, amongst other things, play its role towards ensuring the region's safety and peace through activities that promote peace amongst the people.
Chief Director, Act 818 also institutionalized the setting up of regional and district peace councils at the regional and district levels, whose composition is the same as that of the governing board. The regional peace councils are mandated to, among others, offer advice to the regional coordinating council and the regional security council in relation to conflict prevention, management, resolution, and building sustainable peace within the region, and make recommendations to the Regional Coordinating Council and the Regional Security Council on how to improve the situation, among other functions.
He was, however, quick to caution members of the council to be cautious of how they conduct themselves and stay away from jumping into pronouncing judgments during conflicts.
When there's an issue, you don't go out there, judging people. You won't go first to say, oh, this person didn't do right or this person did right. Yours should be an independent, neutral arbiter. Because if you go out there and then pronounce judgment before even calling the parties to the table, one person who you are pronounced guilty will not have the confidence to come to the table.
Bono East Regional Coordinating Director George Padmore Mensah reiterated the need for the council to work towards establishing a strong collaboration with key stakeholders in the area to help resolve the various chieftaincy conflicts in the region.
The Bono East region is plagued with persistent conflicts in the chieftaincy arena, land border issues, and farmer-headed disputes that erupt into violent conflicts thus affecting the pace of development in the region. I urge you to establish and strengthen collaboration with the security agencies, governance institutions, traditional authorities, and the civil society organizations to to facilitate the attainment of sustainable peace in the region.
He also made a passionate appeal to members of the council to assist the Regional Security Council in helping break the chieftaincy impasse in Techiman-Songo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to make a passionate appeal to the Regional Peace Council as its first task to assist residents to break the security impasse at the Techiman-Songo, posing a serious security threat to the Zongo community.
Newly elected regional chairman of the Peace Council, Reverend Owusu Aseku, on his part noted that the council is set to use education as the main tool towards sensitizing the populace on the need to see peace as a tool for development.
We are praying that God will help us, grant us wisdom so that we will minimize. And not only that, we have 7 cardinal points or issues that bring about conflict. And border disputes is one, ethnic differences is other. These politicians, so we will do all that we can. We will first educate the members before we set off.
The 13-member council constitutes representatives from various religious organizations, traditional authorities, heads of security institutions, amongst others. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
Can you believe that there are girls as young as 11 years using contraceptives to prevent pregnancies in Accra? This came to light when my colleague Martha Krenselakwa embarked on a project titled Teens on Contraceptives. These children are sometimes making the decisions all by themselves without any help from a parent or guardian. And the latest twist of education meant for couples to decide on planning childbearing. Children who are not supposed to be on that method are rather taking that bold decision. There's more in this report.
Contraceptives are the name given to medicines and other devices that are used to prevent unwanted pregnancy. Contraceptives may also be referred to as birth control. Hormonal contraceptive consists of one or more synthetic female sex hormones. In times past, you expect couples who are planning their families to enroll on their choice of contraceptives. Condoms, though another popular birth control method, is often used to preach against sexually transmitted diseases. Condoms are thin pouches that keep sperm from getting into the vagina. There are male and female condoms. Condoms do not protect against infections spread from sores on the skin not covered by a condom, such as the base of the penis or scrotum. Couples having sex must always use condoms to protect against STDs, even when using another birth control methods. Abstinence, not having sex, is the only method that always prevents pregnancy and STDs.
Family planning is deciding on when to have your children and then the interval you want to have your children. But when it comes to adolescents taking family planning, like you said, they are sexually active. They are not married. They have partners and they are sexually active. So they also want to prevent pregnancy. So that is why they'll go in for family planning. As a municipality, we do get adolescents, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, asking questions on family planning, coming in for family or asking questions on family planning.
Let's meet 3 girls with peculiar stories to tell. This is Amma, not her real name. She is 17 and a JHS graduate. She has already had her shot with contraceptives. She has very little knowledge about family planning in general. She is actually unaware that the method is intended to prevent pregnancy.
Minimo, I'm de share me and see. Mimini, I'm de share and see. Minim, the I'm de share.
Okay. Now, when I'm in my dream, say one I'll buy and no be no buy.
Me and Tina, they may buy.
What do you want, let's see? Oh, Accra, see. Okay. Until you buy but show me here or by the
Midday.
Now, once we decide.
Man can't try me.
Fusena is not sure of her age, but the healthcare provider says she may be 20 years now. She is from Yegbo in the northern region. She got married quite young. She has a 3-year-old daughter. Her data in the health record says last year she came in at 19 when her child was 2 years to opt for family planning. She has no formal education. She said she wanted to space her childbearing.
Now we couldn't say me be on next me be. Now I'm person me shade no. And I me buy and madam ni ye.
Who can say on person e be shell who be san zadent.
Man bisano. Now we say man person me wo ntem kame ba no so me person onyi ansa. I don't want to say on pe obi a obe warene na on pia akwala obe woman na ntina be.
Fusena says now she is a little worried as she is not able to conceive, though she has gone off the family planning. Juliana Jampo is a community health nurse at Malamata Government Clinic. She says talking these adolescent girls out of going ahead is not an option.
Daily. Whether so only be man bed that you have to take it every day. And then we have the implant, that is 3 years. And then we have Jadel, which is 5 years. And then the condom. Until I'm buy a church and much pano prefer so yen. Family planning there in Chusuma. The person's choice.
Lawmakers from across West Africa will be meeting in Abuja, Nigeria to deliberate on what they describe as a precarious political situation in Africa's most populous nation. A country report submitted to the 5th ECOWAS Parliament suggests that less than 30% of the voter population were able to cast their ballot in choosing Nigeria's president-elect Ahmed Tinubu. At least 2 opposition parties are in court challenging the outcome of the election on grounds that the process was fraught with electoral malpractices. Speaking ahead of their meeting in Abuja, Nigeria, Emmanuel Bejira, a Ghanaian lawmaker for Whole West, who doubles as ECOWAS Member of Parliament, says the Nigeria situation calls for introspection, given its security implications for security in West Africa. Let's Soga has more.
Committee will have its seating, and once they have that seating, they will decide on what the way forward should be on the political climate in Nigeria. Mind you, the opposition political parties are asking for a rerun of the elections where they believe that the candidacy of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the leader of the APC should be annulled. He should not be recognized as the president-elect. And these are matters that the opposition wants escalated to the West African body. They've been asking ECOWAS to ensure that all West African leaders boycott the swearing in, which is just up in a few days. So it's been a very charged atmosphere here in Nigeria, with some of the political parties mounting pressure on the ECOWAS Parliament to begin to act. I've been interacting, fortunately, with some of our Ghanaian MPs who have been also sharing their thoughts on what has been happening here in Nigeria.
Well, I'm a member of the Human Rights and Legal Committee that has a joint committee meeting tomorrow. For instance, I was around when the committee report was given, and you'll be surprised that the number of people who voted was less than 30% out of the registered voters. So if you have a president, elected president, who was elected by less than 30% of registered voters, then you have a question mark there, because I think internationally accepted figures should be hovering between 45 and 50%, and you have less than 30% people voting for you as a president. That calls for a lot of introspection on his part. I don't know how they're going to do it, and I don't know what the court will come out with. My prayer is that there is so much fear in the atmosphere. My prayer is that this thing will be resolved, because, like I mentioned on the floor the other day, that when Nigeria coughs, the whole of West Africa, gets Qatar, and so we need to handle this situation very well, so that it will not, spill over to the other parts of West Africa country.
Yesterday, I was engaging the spokesperson for the Atiku campaign, He says that if President Akufo-Addo or other West African leaders attend this inauguration, it will be a political heist. It will not be fair for the sub-region and for the democratic stability within West Africa.
Well, back here in this parliament, what we've been looking for and looking at basically has to do with dialogue, because we do not want a situation where one country will be involved in incineration as we've seen over the sub-region, and so it is dialogue. However, if they have issues concerning the election, the best place is for the court. For the court to decide, and I believe that they've set aside 19th of this, I think tomorrow, 29, right? I think, yeah, the court. No, the court. The court is 19, and so let them go through the process. For now, since the court has not yet decided, I think that we should wait till the court comes out with its verdict.
We cannot have a vacuum situation. Yes, because once the case is in court, they have an interim government, or the government can be sworn in after the court has decided. Then the decision can be taken.
You're saying this because you also went through the same thing in Ghana?
It's all over the place. It's not only Nigeria, it's not only Ghana. It's an experience that we are going through. You see, we are within a political region, and what happens here can equally happen somewhere else, like the cases in courts. We can also say that there shouldn't be president taking over the nation activities. So there should be, he can swear in all right. However, the case can continue. And when the opposition win, they can go for a rerun of the elections. Nothing stops them from going for a rerun of the election. So swearing in is not.
Meanwhile, Whole West MP Emmanuel Bejra has called for a probe into branded vehicles bearing the image of Dr. Bawumia even before the presidential contest of the NPP begins. According to the NDC MP, former President John Mahama's controversial 40 cities allocated to delegates for transport in the just-ended primaries was donated openly to his party, as he also did as a candidate in Whole West constituency. In order to promote transparency in political party financing, the member of the AU Parliamentary Caucus Against Corruption wants government to initiate a political finance bill that will put a stop to dubious funding of political activities.
One of the things that as an opposition member of parliament I should be able to do, I spent money, but I spent it on the party. I spent on the party because the party gave us less than 20,000 cedis for transportation. What about delegates who are coming, over 1,300 delegates who are coming there to eat? Who pays for it? The canopy, and then, you know, transporting them.
But if you see how we're going about it, it's becoming a drain on the MPs. There were some MPs who were sharing money, for instance, and the office of the special prosecutor is beginning to get interested in that.
Yeah, so I am one of the people who are against bribing delegates. But just as I've shared with you, I need to bring delegates to come and vote. They will not leave their home to come and vote. And if the party gave me less than 20,000, and I have to spend money in transporting them, I need to top up to bring them, and also provide them food, and provide canopy, and provide public address system. That money the party gave will not be enough, and so you need to, find. And fortunately, I have brothers, colleagues, people who have supported me. I don't have that money anyway, but they supported me. I can tell you, I did not spend so much, but something for the delegates to come and vote, I did that. So I will not say that I've not. Yes, I have supported a party to bring, because I'm the member of parliament, and also being in opposition, I spent money, but not much.
What's your take on the decision by the special prosecutor to invite, for instance?
Israel has invested a total of $140 million in various Ghanaian businesses in the last 5 years of its economic and trade engagement with Ghana. These deals involved over 450 Israeli companies and 2,000 Ghanaian companies and agencies. The Israeli ambassador to Ghana, Slomit Sofan, made that revelation during Israel's 75th independence anniversary reception held here in Accra Thursday night.
The 75th independence anniversary also marks 65 years of the Ghana-Israel diplomatic relations. The two countries have over the years collaborated in economic and trade, technology and innovation, as well as agriculture. Addressing the gathering at the 75th Independence Day reception in Accra, Her Excellency the Israeli Ambassador to Ghana, Shlomit Sufan, gave a breakdown on the numerous and successful cooperation between the two countries.
In the field of agriculture, fintech, education, innovation, health, cybersecurity, the list is long. Our economic and trade engagement keep growing exponentially. This year marks the 5th year of the Economic and Trade Mission operation in Ghana. Within 5 years, we have been able to hold over 100 events, which consist on B2B events, delegations coming and going, exhibitions, professional seminars, and more. It has yielded a record of over 140 million worth of business deals and investments between our two countries. These collaborations have opened new markets and opportunities for both Israeli and Ghanaian businesses. Distinguished guests.
Eastern Regional Minister said Kwame Champo, whose region hosts a vast number of projects initiated by Israel, spoke on behalf of the government of Ghana.
Strategic location of the headquarters of Africa Continental Free Trade Area, after Secretariat, in Ghana, offers many trade and investment opportunities. I therefore wish to urge Israeli investors to partner with Ghanaian businesses and take advantage of the continent's market of 1.3 billion people as part of efforts to further expand our bilateral trade, in addition to investing in government flagship initiatives such as the Planting for Food and Jobs, One District, One Factory, amongst others, for the mutual benefit of our two countries, in particular, creating employment for Ghana's youth.
The two countries are optimistic the diplomatic ties between them would get better and stronger in the future. The Tararama Group of Israel treated the guests to a night of spectacular musical performances. For Joy News, my name is Amafa Ewenam Atiamwa Eli.
We're still live on Joy News Today. We're coming to you from our studios in Kokomlem. We're on Fan of First Street, on Go TV, and on DSTV. We'll take a break. When we return, there's the very latest coming from the world of business.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. The Electricity Company of Ghana has retrieved 9 million cedis from customers through its Revenue Protection Visibility Project. Launched in August last year, the power company has identified 11,000 illegalities and anomalies perpetrated by 50,000 customers visited in piloted areas as at May 16, 2023. Officials hope to make similar gains following a similar exercise in the Ashanti region. Oheming Tewia has more in the following report.
Revenue Protection Visibility Project will see more ECG staff come face to face with customers as more personnel are dispatched into homes, industries, offices to pick information on meters, bills, and illegal connections. It would also afford ECG staff the opportunity to reconcile information picked from the field with data available to the Electricity Company of Ghana. Commercial Investigations Manager at ECG, Edna Owusu-Nyampong, touted the importance of the project.
Currently, we've been able to visit over 50,000 customers, and we have identified over 11,000 illegalities and anomalies we are trying to resolve. And we have raked in over 9 million Ghana cedis currently. So it's a very useful exercise, and it's bringing in a lot of returns.
Acting General Manager, Customer Care in the Ashanti region, Maso Dapa, wants public support for the project to succeed.
The key objectives of this project are: one, to help in checking the integrity of the meters that we have installed in our system. And the second one is to confirm the accuracy of the data that we have in relation to the customers that we are serving. We expect that our customers right from today will be seeing people all over coming over to look at the meters that we have installed, and also be asking for bills that will help us to reconcile the data that we have in relation to the information that they have.
Now, Deputy Head of Special Investigations at the Internal Audit Agency, Frank Amedume, says weaknesses in the financial control systems of state institutions need to be tackled head-on with the support of all stakeholders. Speaking at the inauguration of audit committees for the health sector institutions under the Ghana Health Service in Sunyani, Mr. Amedume urged members to offer sound financial systems to curb the weakness in the management of public finances at the various institutions. Precious Emevo has more.
General's report, the majority of the over 1 million irregularities identified are on health institutions, a sign of weak internal control systems with consequences on national development. The formation of audit committees under the Public Financial Management Act 2016 is to improve control structures for the proper use of public resources. At the inauguration of 21 audit committees of the health sector institutions under the Ghana Health Service in the Bono East and Ahafo regions, Deputy Head of Special Investigations at the Internal Audit Agency, Frank Amedume, explained why the committee was restructured.
They used to have the audit committees established some 2 years ago, but it was not functioning. The reason being that they are being challenged with funds. So based on that, the committee has been restructured, where they have 2 or more facilities coming under one committee for effective and economic reasons. Once they come together, we believe strongly that they will be able to put resources or pull resources together in order to support the committee functionally.
He said public resources would be protected if committee members offer sound financial measures to curb the weak financial control systems.
As a committee, they need to pursue the head of entity to implement the recommendations contained in internal auditors' quarterly reports, auditor general reports, even decisions from parliament, among others. So looking at the caliber of people that we have this time around the committee, we expect that they will advise management on sound financial systems so that the weaknesses in the control system of the various institutions, so far as the health facilities are concerned, will be a thing of the past.
Thanks for watching Business Segment on JoyNews Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. Darokwa will be here at 1 p.m. with the marketplace. Sports is next.
Let's do sports now on Joy News Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. The Executive Committee of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, have announced that the next edition of the FIFA World Cup would have 9 teams qualified to participate in the competition. Following a meeting that happened on Thursday in Algiers, CAF Executive Committee also revealed that there are going to be some changes to the qualifiers for the competition. According to them, there are going to be 9 groups where 9 teams are going to be qualifying out of the group. However, if you take a look at the FIFA World Cup 2026, the number of countries have been increased by the World Football Governing Body, which means that there is a possibility Africa could have as many as 11 countries participating in the competition. CAF says that there will be playoffs, where a competition they describe as CAF playoff, to have more teams qualify and participate in the competition. The qualifier for the 2026 FIFA World Cup will start on November 13. March 1 and March 2 will be played on November 13 and November 21 respectively. The last round of the qualifiers will happen in March 2026. We move on now and talk local stories. And a former player of King Faisal, Yusuf Chifsa, has revealed that Accra House of Oak tried bribing players of the club in the early 2000s. According to him, the decision of the club to bribe the players was to influence them so that they could manipulate the outcome of a Premier League game against the Phobians. He said owner of the club, Alhaji Gruza, brought a Bible and a Quran to the playing body, asking them to swear for taking bribe from the club.
We've been hearing stories, issues about betting and bribery and all that. These issues, especially bribery, has been there since before us and at our time and now. But you see, one thing with bribery is, if you are not self-disciplined, you might think you are enriching yourself or your pocket, but it is going to cost you dearly. I know playmates that have suffered, their career suffered because of bribery allegations. When I was at King Faisal, we had a game against House of Oak. Then there was a rumor that some players have been bribed. So Alhaji Gruza, one of the best administrators in our football, forget about his educational background. If Alhaji had had higher education, trust me, he would have been one of the best administrators, because the man was intelligent, highly intelligent. You know what Alhaji did? Alhaji called one of the players. I'm not going to mention names. He called one of the players. Those days it was this stationary phone booth.
Yeah.
He called him, went with him to the phone booth, and called an official of House of Oak. Alhaji told him, "Kachire ni say sika no unya bi. Sika na omo achama players no. Unya bi." So this player told the official that, "Boss, mati say ni na sika no unya bi o. O si o hunwe asumesi hu Voilà. Alhaji Gruza say,
"Voilà,
me a mafia chairman." Me man can't just say me a mafia chairman. And that game, that particular game I'm speaking about, those of our mates who were compromised, their careers went finish. Their careers were dead.
I'll have to speak to Alhaji Gruza on this.
Alhaji Gruza came to the camp Saturday night. He came with Quran, he came with Bible. And he asked everybody to swear. And some refused.
Gruza brought a Quran and a Bible and asked them to swear.
When you're a Christian, you swear with the Bible. When you're a Muslim, you swear with the Quran. Some didn't even raise their hand. They say, oh, yeah, they are not one player. JB Dankwa. Say, JB, Christian, who Maunsa, Muslim, who Maunsa, we are there. Also, Muslim, we are doing.
The full interview will be airing on Sunday at 9 p.m. here on this channel. And just by way of announcement, the draw for the 2023 African Cup of Nations will be happening on Thursday, 12th October 2023. Follow Joy Sports on all our social media handles as we build up to that very competition. We appreciate your company.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News. And our rapper Strongman Burner says he is ready to tie the knot with his longtime girlfriend and baby mama Nanama. Speaking in an interview with Andy Dusty on Daybreak Hit, he mentioned that after being together for almost a decade, he is ready to make her his wife.
Are you planning on getting married?
Yeah, probably this year. Yeah. I feel with the me were na free or prekona.
Strong Jersey. This year?
Yeah.
Really?
This year, yeah. The person me free or prekona who say like the person me Mr. Prekona.
This is a journey forever.
Oh yeah. But we've stayed for 8 years now. And we've stayed together for over 7 years.
Does she come in your way?
Nah, in terms of music.
Yes, in your work, your line of work.
Nah.
Sometimes you have to step out in the night. Sometimes you have to go for days. Sometimes months. You have to go and you don't come back. And you know, ladies. Now,
but for her, she understands. Or like, I say it's music, so she understands me. And she was a fan way back before even I met her. And she said, this is what I want to do. So she supports me a lot.
Now, Ghanaian hip-life musician Prince Price says he's on a mission to throw more light on the need to support female musicians in Ghana. According to Prince, women in the music business are mostly overlooked, and so supporting and pushing them will go a long way in helping the growth of the industry.
I might as well say it, you know what I'm saying?
Great.
The women in the industry don't get a lot of features.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I know everybody's saying, oh, Bright, he's all about the women. If any negativity should come, they'll say, oh, Bright did this to somebody, Bright did that. Now I'm letting the music speak for itself.
Great.
I love women and I respect women. Not in a negative sense, but in a positive sense. I would support any woman who is in the industry trying to put their creatives together, their animals' desire that they want everybody to see together. I want them to know I am behind them. I will promote, I will support any woman in the industry until I see the Ghana flag being raised so high. I want to see Miss V out there doing big things. I want to see, what's her name? Fontana doing amazing things. I want to see Wendy doing amazing things. I want to see Sister Fria doing amazing things. You know what I'm saying? I want to see my beloved Sinner Soul, my sister. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, when I say meanwhile, she knows where we coming from. You know what I mean? Sinner, I love Sinner to death. My queen, Adina. You know what I mean? All these amazing vocals. You know what I mean? We have such angelic vocals in Ghana.
Why do I have a feeling that you have all of these beautiful women on there?
These are things I'm telling you. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm the king here, surrounded by all these amazing queens.
Yeah.
And why not do something magical?
For more entertainment news, log on to myjoyonline.com and also subsequently in our bulletins. We will bring you everything showbiz here on Joy News. Good afternoon to you, Aisha.
Good afternoon to you, Lady in Red. That's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com certainly for more news and all the updates of the developing stories. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do enjoy the rest of our program.